Hey, it's River. I wanted to make a video to talk about trauma trigger and how I've been processing it. So I had a deep sense knowledge that this trauma had happened, and that's only really been accepted in the last year or so. But I haven't had any memories, and I know that like the way DID develops, I'm not the one who actually experienced it. Or OSDD or whatever we have. But so I was always really hard on myself for not having a memory, and I think just being like a survivor of like any kind of sexual nature, violence or abuse, there's this like need in society, at least in Western society, to have empirical evidence and or memories or being conscious or having knowledge and to really be believed. And even then, it's very hard to get justice for what happened. So, because I didn't have any memories of it happening, I often looked at that as it didn't happen. Um, it's not. I remember even a psychologist telling me that, when I first originally thought that it took place, he said to not tell anyone because if it wasn't real, I would ruin the reputation of my abuser. So I think that stuck with me too for a while. And so what has been happening, having the thoughts or knowing the thoughts Buzz was having when he was triggered, and having, I think it's a flashback. It seems like a flashback, sounds like a flashback, probably is a flashback. So, having those thought process that he was experiencing, probably when it was taking place, because it wasn't like Buzz, the trigger in the flashback Buzz was happening was more in the before the trauma or the incident took place. Buzz was having like fear of it happening and fear of what was going to happen to him. Those were kind of the thoughts he was having. And it's been hard to, I think I'm still digesting it all, but it seems like now I'm understanding that this did happen, and as I spoke about, I'm having memories, and thus it's undeniable at this point now. And I'm experiencing my own anxiety. Buzz actually came forward in class, had to leave school. He didn't really come forward, but I think he was pretty co-conscious because those thoughts started coming in my mind again. And he even drew a picture on our laptop. And it's been hard to. It's just been hard. There's no words that I can think of other than it's been hard. It's been difficult. I'm worried now that I told the doctor this too. Now that I know that I'm multiple, I don't know if it was really ever myself who would attempt or be suicidal because I felt so detached from it, and I know that even though there's trauma that I know happened too and I experienced, I believe. I think it was just this one particular type of trauma that I really suppressed. And so being suicidal, yeah, I would always be so detached, and it would never be an emotional process when I would do it. It would be I would have these thoughts of the kind of thoughts you have when you want to do that to yourself. And I now that the things it said you and stuff like your life, yourself, but I just not knowing I was multiple, I was like, oh, this is just I like this. One of the things I always talk to myself in like third person, but now I know it wasn't me talking to myself. So, but I think I am. I do have BPD. When life gets too hard, I often think, what's the point? So I think in some part of that is me too, but I think there's another influence involved with it. So I'm worried that, I'll act on these thoughts and being in here, and I don't know, it's been hard to have memories come back. I'm going in circles, I know, but I think it's an important thing to document. And I see that our videos are getting more views, and if you guys are watching this, I want to say thank you. I hope you find these videos helpful, because they're exactly what I needed and I need. If anyone else is inspired to make videos, not that I'm inspirational in any way, but if anyone else sees this and they're like, I want to do this too, please tag your channel down below. I would love to see similar experiences of what I'm going through. So yeah, I know Brielle said she doesn't think we're in crisis anymore. I still think we are. I still think I am. I think I'm going to try to stay in school. I'm going to go back to my job soon. It's just one of those things, life doesn't stop. I often describe you guys when I learn about this trauma, not in like the memory sense, but just the deep root knowledge when that started to reemerge. I described it as like my world stops, like how people who experience grief, it's like my world stopped moving, but the world outside, like that, the world kept spinning. And I think that's what it feels like. It feels like with every discovery or every new experience, it's like everything is just thrown out of whack, and I want to scream, I want to shout, I want to hide, I want to cry. I need the outside world to change as much as I'm changing, but it doesn't. Life still goes on. I'm still expecting to go to work. My family is still my family, my friends are still my friends, and that can go both ways, but there's still this expectation that how I'm represented and how my external perception is how my internal process should be, and those two are out of sync right now. And they've always been out of sync. But I'm no longer able or desired or want to hide how my internal process is. And I think that's a part of why everyone else started coming forward in the body. I think the turbulence of my internal process, my internal reality, and my external reality not aligning, I think, and living in that turmoil for so long, I think that's a factor. I think the brain needed to adapt again. And I think this is the brain's way of being like, okay, like something in this guy's life needs to change. And maybe if we finally come forward about being multiple, I don't think it was like anyone alters who is possible, but like my brain, I like to refer to my brain as like another entity. But it was like my brain was like, okay, like we gotta switch shit up for this guy, or for everyone else too. But yeah, so again, this is one of those incidents when how I feel on the inside and my headspace is like fucked. Like, I don't even know how I feel. I guess I do, but like, I don't know how I should feel is what I should say. And my external world is, people are like, why is he back in here? I've been experienced what is it called? I have it transferable trauma, or it's not that word, but I always call it that word when I know it's not. I think I'm, of my family, how their life is affected by me being so unstable. I'm starting to they've been vocalizing that again, so I think like my external world is starting to pick up, or at least at this time, that shit's really not okay with him this time. But sorry, I try to be much more I always forget this fucking word. The word that's like talking about how well you speak. Whatever that word is. Sorry, I always forget this word. I try to speak like that. So when I don't, then I can realize I'm saying a lot of ums and going in circles, and it's not clear crystal. I hate myself, but whatever, it is what it is. I'm talking about trauma, I'm talking about being emotionally in turmoil and unstable, so of course I'm not going to have cohesive thoughts right now, so bear with me. But I'll keep it short, 10 minutes. I think that's pretty much how I'm feeling. So yeah, peace.